All right, what's up, guys? It's Friday, April 3rd. My name is Kevin, or Cloakin, if you don't know who I am. Wanted to give you a quick update on where we are with Vainglory Community Edition. If you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, Vainglory Community Edition, there is a blog over on our website that you can take a look at. I'll put the link in the caption below, along with a Reddit AMA that we did yesterday where we answered a bunch of questions from the community about Vainglory Community Edition. We'll put that in the caption below as well. But last night we finished deploying into what we're calling stage 1A of this sort of roadmap, which again is outlined in that blog. So I wanted to confirm that. And number two, if you've logged into the game or attempted to log into the game at this moment, you've probably experienced the game feeling very different to what you're used to, if not feeling like it's entirely broken. I'm going to get into that in a second, but for those of you who are first tuning into this or catching this news for the first time, I wanted to give a brief touch over on why we're doing this. It's all in that blog and it's in the AMA, but I wanted to talk about it briefly here as well. So we'll move through this quickly. Why are we doing this? Last week, Wednesday, Rogue let us know that they will be ceasing service to the game as of Friday last week. So it was a mere matter of days notice that we were given that this decision was going to be made and that the service was going to be turned off. Why did Rogue do that? Well, it is a challenging time for a lot of companies, and we do believe that they put their best effort forward here, but they just were unable to continue supporting this game. It's a challenging thing for us, right? And there's a lot there to unpack, but bottom line is we didn't want the game to be shut down. So we got involved. We were able to keep the service up that Friday, but at that point, it's a big problem for us as a company. How do we continue to support this game when we already know we're not in a place to do that? We're focused on building Project Spellfire, and we don't have the team to support a live game like this. So there were many options available, not many, there were a few options available to us to consider. Do we find another publisher like Rogue? Our experience with Rogue was a challenging one. It was riddled with, didn't go as well, I should say, as we hoped, right? And all of the growing pains that you felt as a community around having another party like that involved with a game like this, you know, we felt it too in our own ways. And it wasn't something we felt super anxious to get back into. We did consider it. We talked to a few folks out there who this could have been a possibility for, but it just wasn't the right thing. So we, as a company, are unable to support it, like I mentioned, focused on Project Spellfire and continuing to build towards the future. Simultaneously, we need to make quick decisions here. Every day is a very, very costly day for Super Evil as a company to keep the service up, and that's not something we can sustain while continuing to have hope for the future and to push towards our goals with building new content and new games for you, our players. So we considered many options, but the one that we believe is truly best in line with our goals and our love for Vainglory and what we know as your love for the game of Vainglory was this idea of figuring out how we package the game to hand over to you, the community. That's why we're calling it Community Edition. We want Vainglory to live forever. We want you to be able to play Vainglory forever. It will not be the same as it was. It's just not possible. But the game at its heart that you know and love will be something that you will be able to play indefinitely, as much as you would like, depending on your interest. So that's the brief overview. Again, more details in the blog if you want to see it, and the Reddit AMA as well. So stage 1A, what is going on? If you've logged into the game, by the way, I'm looking at my notes here. That's why I keep looking down. I just want to make sure I'm getting through everything for you all. We call this out in the blog, but stage 1A is our roughest moment in this roadmap. At least we expect it to be. The game is going to feel entirely broken. Basically, everything is not going to work in the game right now except for the play menu. You're also going to have access to all skins and heroes. They're all going to be unlocked for everyone. Everything about the game is going to feel different. Your username is going to be gone. It's going to be replaced by a temporary name. It's going to feel like your account was hijacked, broken. It's just going to feel bad, very, very bad. So I'm letting you know that right now. We are aware that that's the case. Know that your account, your historical profile has been stored and is safe. We are hoping and planning to bring that back in stage 4 of this rollout, where we will allow you to re-import that down the road as we get things packaged up with a new client. But parties, chat, social, quests, progression, glory, ice, log in, log out, the market, event-based game modes. All these things aren't going to work right now. On the plus side, you will have all heroes, you will have all skins, and matchmaking is likely super fast because the matchmaker is throwing people into games. Also, your rating, I think right now, is not what it was. So all of this is a bit of a mess right now. It's going to feel completely under construction. We know that. Along these lines, I wanted to take some time to acknowledge that we've received incredible feedback over the last couple days, stories, videos, emails of people telling us how much Vainglory has meant to them as a game. And believe me, I am incredibly impressed by all of that. This has been a powerful game to the community, and that means so much to us as a developer, and it actually encourages us to continue down this path. So thank you for sending all of that. I also want to acknowledge that it is okay to be grieving this process, and I mean that. I know that we as a company are experiencing a similar feeling. Vainglory, as you know it, is changing, and it will not be the same. Our hope is that when we get on the other side of this, it'll become that thing that you love, and maybe even more as we move towards the future, and as you continue to invest more into what that could look like. But it is okay to grieve the loss of the past, and I wanted to acknowledge that. I need to acknowledge it for myself. It's okay, and we support that. Please do continue to share stories to each other about this game, what it's meant to you, all of those things. We read them. They mean a lot. We share them internally on all of our tools. And thank you for sharing that. And please do continue to do it. I think it's an important part of this process. Our hope is that Community Edition will be a vessel for similar levels of meaning in the future, as Vainglory of the past has been to you now, but that is yet to be proven. And we have a long way to go to get there. So a couple other things to point out. Your past, your history with this game is important to us. That's why we have Stage 4, this need to bring your historical profile back into Community Edition at some point. I will say, though, that progression in Community Edition is likely going to feel very different to what it did in the past. So though you'll be able to import that again, the idea of what progression would look like in this game is going to feel different. It's everyone's going to have the content unlocked, and it will really be about distilling itself down into the joy of the immediacy of playing Vainglory together as a community. It's likely that some awesome community tools are going to spring out of this initiative where ranking and matchmaking and leaderboards and all this stuff will become hyper relevant again, and serve communities as they galvanize around this game in a variety of ways. But again, that'll be a process to get to that point, and we understand that your history with this game is meaningful, and we acknowledge that. We think it's important, and thank you for sharing your stories with us. Okay, all of that being said, here's the opposite side of that coin. Mayless and I are going to be working to moderate community conversation, particularly in formal areas like the Vainglory Discord. We really do need to begin to focus on the future. And I've seen a variety of types of conversation in the Discord at the moment, some of it constructive and some of it entirely not. And though we are supportive of grieving and all these things that I have mentioned, there is a line that we definitely need to begin to establish that's okay. That tells you what's okay and what isn't okay. And we will begin to do that, particularly in our Discord. I think it would be foolish to think that we're going to please everyone with these decisions. It's quite possible that Vainglory Community Edition just isn't going to be a game for everyone. It is not the game of the past, but it might not be the game for everyone going forward. And that's okay. But issues like toxicity and incessant negativity are going to begin to get addressed. We understand the need for constructive criticism. We welcome it, all of those things, but there's definitely a line we will establish that ensures the health of the community and the idea of looking forward to building to the future. So if you're being overly toxic and disruptive, you're going to find that places like our Discord are just not a place for you. And that's okay. It may become a place for you somewhere down the road. You're always welcome to come back, those kinds of things. But just wanted to let you know we will be putting some energy into ensuring that these locations are sort of cleaned up, refreshed, refocused, and pointed towards Vainglory Community Edition for the future. Okay, I want to take a quick second to talk about frequently asked questions or buckets of conversation that have come up from our Reddit AMA and across social media. Number one, it's that fear about history and account progression. Stage 4, I'll continue to say that, is where you'll be able to re-import your profile. All of those things will hopefully go down there. You will have your history with you at that point in the future. Number 2, we've received a ton of questions about how you can get involved. What can I do to host servers? How can I help build communities around this or tools around this? Thank you for all of that enthusiasm and support. That's amazing. Please do email us at community@superevilmegacorp.com if you'd like to get involved. It'll take us some time to get through all these emails, but we will be getting back with you, and we'll be able to connect you with our plans for the future there and how you can get involved. A couple other individual questions that have come up across this. Why isn't Super Evil open sourcing the game? Why aren't we getting access to everything? And I think it's important for us to point out that the Evil engine, the tools that we used to build Vainglory and are using to build the games of our future, is something that we're very proud of. It helps us make unique games like Vainglory, and will help us to continue to make unique offerings to the games industry going forward. And it's not something that we're currently planning on doing, opening that up to the community. So this will be handled in a much more of a partner server management relationship between us and organizations who can help us support this community edition, and much less of a wholesale offering of everything around Vainglory to the community. Number 2, NetEase, our publisher in China. Why aren't we allowing NetEase to publish across the globe rather than just in China? These are options we've considered, and we love NetEase. They've been an awesome partner for us. We've made them aware of our situation, but at the moment, this particular plan is not in our options right now. It's not on the possibility list, so we are unable to do that. Next, will Vainglory come back to Super Evil Megacorp at some point? Will we pick up service for the game? Will we add content to the game? What will Super Evil be doing in relationship to Community Edition going forward? As of right now, we have no plans to add new content to the game. Will that change? It's possible. We love Vainglory. We want to build more about and around Vainglory in the future, of course. But right now it is not on our to-do list. We are so focused on Project Spellfire, and have been, that this is just not something we are budgeted around in terms of our time and focus. Refunds. We've received a ton of questions about, can I get refunds for the money I've spent in this game? I think you are fully entitled to pursue refunds for money that you've spent across various platforms, and you should feel in your right to do that. Simultaneously, there's this alternate perspective that all of the things that you were buying that had meaning for you in the past are now unlocked for you as well in Community Edition going forward. I also understand that the sense of value around your money and what you get for it is very personal. So I'm not telling you that you have to feel good about that. But the alternative for us as a company was to shut this all down and to take it all away. And to us, we definitely feel that our plans with Community Edition are better than that alternative. Okay guys, that's it for this update, April 3rd. Thank you for being with us on this journey. This is going to be the most bumpy part of this transition. Please do send us your feedback and thoughts in the comments below, Discord of course, or any of our social media platforms. We'll be out there looking to answer your questions, and I'll be back with more of this as well. Sorry if there's been a lot of noise or background stuff here in my house. This is part of what it means to work remotely for Super Evil. So thanks for being here with us, and we'll see you in the next update.